evil.
I'm necessary evil.
Oh wow, Hollywood shows its true colours. What I mean by Hollywood is the CEOs of these big studios, Disney, Apple, Amazon and so on. Basically, as we all know, the WGA strikes have been going for about 71 to about 72 days, my time right now filming this. And the whole purpose of the Writers Guild of America strike is these writers aren't being paid enough, but mainly it was triggered because of the streaming residuals. Now, streaming shows and all this and streaming companies are very difficult. They're very, very difficult to kind of get a sense of how successful a show's done, what residuals writers deserve, and how long they employ these writers and easily get rid of them. They can get these writers on very, very short-term contracts, one-off payments and everything, but it's not working for these writers. So they've gone on strike, not just on that basis, but for writers overall, not being paid enough, not being treated well enough in the industry. And remember, writers are the most important part of movie and TV making. They are so important. They're not there just during the pre-production or before the script's finished. They are there during the shoot. They are around during the shoot in case of rewrites or changes. Writers are very important. I work in this industry. I know a few writers. I've met a few writers on television shows and so on, and they have one of the hardest jobs. And their job is to make a bloody good TV show or bloody good film. And make sure the story at heart is still working and it makes sense and so on. But Hollywood thinks completely different. These studio execs, they're like, screw these WGA strikes. Let them keep going. Let them run out of money. Let them go cold at Christmas. Let them starve to death. I'm not kidding. This article from Deadline, Hollywood Studios WGA strike endgame is to let writers go broke before resuming talks in full, is not unexpected, but to hear it out loud and in black and white on this website is disgusting, because some of the comments that have come from studio execs or veteran studio execs is frightening. This is how much CEOs care about writers, about people that work in the industry, about the creatives. They do not care. You watch all these featurettes on movies or TV shows you love, and some of these CEOs pop up and they're like, oh, we love these people. They've done such a great job. They're so important to us. They don't care. You are dust beneath their fingernails. They do not care. And, oh man, it makes me so angry reading this article, but I'm going to go back over it for you. Regardless of whether the Screen Actors Guild of America goes on strike this week, basically the Screen Actors Guild in America basically the actors are planning to go on strike too in support of the Writers Guild of America. It's not due just to pay and everything, but it's also to support what's going on with the Writers Guild of America. It's to support them mainly, but obviously there are issues in the sort of Actors Guild and everything that need to be discussed more. But they are planning to go on strike, and we're going to find out, I think in about, my time, a couple of hours, if they're going ahead. And they've also accepted mediation with studios, but won't extend strike deadline. So they are still going to go on strike, even if this is happening. And that's important to kind of take in mind. I think we're in for a long strike and they're going to let it bleed out, said one industry veteran intimate with the POV of studio CEOs. With the scribe strike now finishing its 71st day in the Actors Union, just 30 hours from a possible labour action of its own. So yeah, less than 30 hours now. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, so that's all the big CEO execs and everything of these companies, and producers in general that work for these companies, are planning to dig in hard this fall before even entertaining the idea of more talks with the Writers Guild of America. I've learned, not Halloween precisely, but late October for sure is the intention, says a top-tier producer close to the Carol Lobandini run. America producers, blah, blah, blah. While some dismiss this as just cynical strike talk, and it could be, this could be a big threat, basically, because writers could be reading this now who are on strike, who are with the guild, and going, oh God, I'm going to lose everything. And they will go to the heads of the guilds and say, look, we need to come to a decision because I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to have no money by Christmas. We need to rush this. So this could be a scare tactic. But I don't think it's just that. It is a scare tactic, definitely. But I think these studios are being very, very serious because, as we know, CEOs of these studios can be horrible, horrible people. So while some dismiss this as just cynical strike talk, studio and streamer sources around town confirmed the strategy. They also confirmed that the plan to grind down the guild has long been in the works for a labour cycle that all sides agree is a game changer one way or another for Hollywood. It's been agreed to for months, even before the WGA went out. One executive said nobody wanted a strike, but everybody knew this was make or break. This is from an executive whose name is not being revealed because they're a pussy. And they're just saying, look, we've been planning this for a while. We don't care about human rights. We don't care about writers. Who gives a shit? A lot of us do. A lot of us creatives give a shit about writers, and that's why the strike is happening. This is why we're shutting your productions down. These people going out on the picket line and everything, that is why it's so important. And by the way, if the Actors Guild goes on strike, there is nothing being filmed. There will be no TV shows being filmed. There'll be no films being filmed. There probably won't be any music videos being filmed, I presume. And also there won't be any awards events, Emmys, the bloody Oscars. This could affect the industry harder than it did back in 2007, obviously. Receiving positive feedback from Wall Street since the Writers Guild of America went on strike May 2nd, Warner Brothers Discovery, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Paramount, and others have become determined to break the Writers Guild of America, as one studio exec blatantly put it. It is fucking disgusting that they hope to break this wonderful guild who protects writers. They do not care about the livelihoods of these people. They do not care about about paying them a fair wage. And also they do not care about the whole streamer problem. They don't care. As long as they're making money, that's fine. The writers, you get one payment, sod off. If something is as successful as Stranger Things, these writers aren't being told their true royalties they deserve and everything. This is a huge problem with the streaming industry, not just because there's too fucking much, but also because they're not revealing how many people are actually watching these, weekly, monthly, anything like that, and writers getting their residuals. It's really important that writers get their residuals because they are fully deserved. They are there from the beginning to the very end. To do the studios and the producers guild that no one gives a shit about, that by October most writers will be running out of money after 5 months on the picket lines and no work. The end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses. How fucked up and dystopian is this? How awful is this? Acknowledging this cold as ice approach. Cold as ice? Mate, this is a Titanic hitting the iceberg at 2,000 miles per hour and killing everyone on board and then going to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean and then freezing to death. That's what it is. It's not just cold as ice. This is horrible. Several other sources have reiterated the statement. One insider called it cruel but necessary evil. Fucking Bane up there in the CEO cloud. Oh yes, screw these writers. It's a necessary evil. We don't pay them. The thing is that these companies have money. They have money. I know a lot of films and TV shows haven't been making a lot of money recently because people are bored of their shit and just doing the same IP again. But these companies have a lot of money, especially Disney. They still have lots of money because with their parks and everything else outside of the film strategy, they have money. They are not paying their fucking writers properly. They have the money. And literally, if they paid their writers the right fee and the streamers paid the writers their royalties, basically, they'd still have money. They're not losing a lot of money. They would still have it. This is why this is all ridiculous. These CEOs and these companies are refusing to budge because they don't like to be told what to do. That is it. That is it. The severe method comes out of the Guild's successful battle with the agencies in 2021 over dismantling the lucrative practice of packaging. The WGA picked off one agency after another until final holdout WME backed down, a tactic seen as a warning sign by many in the studio and streamer C-suites. Right. So overall, basically what the studios have done, they've got together on a call, supposedly, these CEOs, and said, look, we need to collectively come together and this is what we need to do. And I bet one of them went, oh, so we're going to pay them properly, just like in a slower time, like in different packaging stages? No, we're going to tell them to go fuck themselves. And we hope they get poor. We hope they lose their houses. We hope they go cold at Christmas. And then they'll come running back. That is the whole point of this. They don't care about people's lives. They don't care. They care about the content being made and the content going out. And now they're obviously threatening to use AI, stuff to write scripts, to generate CGI. They are threatening with these awful fucking bits of technology that aren't fully at 100% yet. They don't fully work. I'm really concerned. I'm really, really concerned because even though I've said, even though this could be a fake threat, I think it's very real. It sounds real. A lot of execs are on board with it. But my God, Hollywood is probably one of the worst places ever at the moment. These poor writers who are on the picket lines and they've been striking for 72 days have still not got talks going on with these CEOs and everything. Nothing. They're just being treated like dust in fingernails, dirt in the ground. And oh my God, these writers are so important, man. Writers and creatives are so important in the industry. The other thing to consider is obviously if the Screen Actors Guild goes forward, TV shows shut down and everything, the people behind the camera who aren't on strike and who are doing the work currently are going to lose their jobs. The whole industry is going to be affected, from camera operators to catering to fucking camera assistants, editors, everything. Everything is going to be affected because nothing is going to be made due to the strike. And then the studios are going to feel that, but they're hoping the people that work on these shows, especially the writers and everything, are going to run out of money, and that circle's going to get smaller, and then they'll run back in and then it'll bloat out again. But there is no possible way that these companies could go small and then bloat back into the writers. It doesn't work like that. These companies have money to last a long, long time. So I am very worried. I'm very, very worried about this. And sorry to do a more political sort of video, but I think it's really important to highlight the WGA strike and everything that's going on in Hollywood at the moment. And also just prove to you that CEOs do not care. Bob Iger at Disney, I really liked. I thought he's a great businessman. He cared about the creatives. He knew how important creatives are. But it turns out he doesn't give a shit because he was definitely on that call. He was on that call and he agreed collectively with the other studio execs and studio bigwigs that they should not allow the WGA to come to an agreement or anything. They should just let them starve to death, basically. That's what they want to do. And also, a lot of the writers are going to go, fuck it, I'm going to go and work at McDonald's. At least they get treated better there, do you know what I mean? They actually get treated better, get paid properly, and nothing's being kept from them, like the streaming services. Like, they're not revealing how much money these shows are actually generating, how many views it's generating, and how much royalties these writers deserve when finishing a project and it going out. So yeah, bit of a different video, but I'm going to keep track of this. I think the Screen Actors Guild strike is going to go ahead, and I really hope they tear down Hollywood, and I hope they get to these CEOs for the CEOs to go, okay. I really want to see this happen, but I don't want sacrifices being made. That's the thing. I'm very scared for these writers and everything, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Sorry it was a bit more of a stressful talk. What do you think about this whole thing? Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss. If I've got anything wrong as well, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video. Sub to the channel. Please do. It really helps. We're nearly at 300 subs. And yeah, just can't wait for the future of this channel and see where it goes and everything. But I hope you enjoyed the video and take care.